Get your ear holes ready to be It's time for the Cinemassacre Podcast. The guys behind Cinemassacre talk about crap. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, and Justin. All right, boys, let's Sorry, ladies. I have a date tonight.
Wow.
Welcome back.
Wow, I am here. I gotta piss.
Yeah, I do too, actually.
All right, let's go pee.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. It's time for the Cinemassacre Podcast. The guys behind Cinemassacre talk about crap. All right, boys, let's
This is the in-person podcast with Cinemassacre.
I'm the producer of Cinemassacre. I don't think we said that last time. What do you do around here, Kieran?
I do a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
All right, so James, what have you been watching?
It was a movie that Ryan brought up to me, actually. And oh my God, this movie, it was so good. It's so fucked up psychologically. And the way it all ends is just so disturbing and so fucked up.
What have you been watching, Kieran?
What was it? The second season of I Think You Should Leave. If you haven't ever watched any of it, it's got just these. It's fucking weird. I was like crying, and I had to turn it off because I wasn't going to sleep.
I guess I'll do something I'm drinking. I think it's called River Horse. It's like a hippopotamus. Drinking 3 of those is like drinking a whole 6-pack. I thought I was fucking dying.
Yeah.
I got fucking poisoned is what happened.
Oh my God. Do you want to do an episode on weed sometime?
You go eat a fucking tree from a car. What are you talking about?
Stone Steve Austin.
It's always been smoked. Mm-hmm. You know, when I smoke, the weed gets high.
The weed gets high. Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know, thanks for watching this second episode, everybody. And
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. It's time for the Cinemassacre Podcast. The guys behind Cinemassacre talk about crap. All right, boys, let's rock.
All right, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that.
you know what rhymes with Rocketeer? Rocket beer.
That detail I forgot about.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, it's that time again. What have you been doing, James?
What have I been doing?
You watching anything?
Recently, I watched both Space Jam movies for the first time ever. Yeah.
One time, Michael Jordan almost killed me.
Okay.
I just got out of my seat when he hit a line drive right into the chair I was sitting at.
Oh, wow.
And I would have got creamed.
Oh, geez. Just sprayed.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can tell people that Michael Jordan killed you.
Why is half your skull missing?
Yeah, they have to put on your epitaph.
What are you doing, Justin?
What am I doing? As always, I'm collecting Gengars. I probably have the world's largest collection at this point, as you might have seen in the one video we did on Cinemassacre of me and Mike doing a room tour. But I just got this one, who's very exciting. Hold on.
Is Mike still trapped in your little terrarium or whatever? Is he
Yes.
still there?
That's why he's not here anymore.
That's why. Yeah.
All right, here it is. The camera. James is completely blocked now, but that's probably fine. This is the Gengar who absolutely wants to be licked. It's a bed.
Official name for it?
Yeah.
Who absolutely
Wow. Okay.
Knock your drink over. There you go.
Yeah. She took us to a farm one time, and the pigs, were shitting all over, and she was just like, "Oh, look at that! Like that! Look at the pigs shit! Like they roll in their shit."
And then the last one I want to do, like the shots I always wanted to get, it's having an actual buffalo to shit in your ear.
Yeah.
Something fun I just realized, that someone might watch this video, have never even heard of Cinemassacre, the Angry Video Game Nerd, and they're just clicking through this podcast and just find this whole section about us trying to get a buffalo to diarrhea shit in your ear.
I used to run around as a kid with a Batman cape. My mom made me a Batman cape, and I used to just wear it constantly. They're like, I don't think we didn't use, or no, did we use, or we didn't use to get it was because I'll talk all day.
Well, you know what? I think that's what makes it so appealing, is that the hero is not very skilled or anything. It's just sort of like, you know, but yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna wear the shirt.
But I guess let's wrap this up.
All right.
Like, okay, like, what am I doing here?
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below. It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, and Justin.
We are back again. This is the Cinemassacre Podcast.
This became a huge joke.
I had my junior film playing in front of an audience. I was just like in an alley, just puking, like on the pavement. Why the hell am I so nervous? I was like puking to the point where I was just like dry heaving. I had nothing left to puke, and I'm just shaking like crazy. Everybody was into it. We're just laughing and like going nuts, just puking. I was like, oh my God, holy shit. Like the gory parts came and they were puking for so long, like through all the credits at the end. They were puking into the beginning of the next film that started, and I felt bad about that, but I was so happy. They were puking.
Yeah, I guess we'll move on to what you doing.
Well, I guess I'll just get into it. Like there was that Action Park documentary.
Yeah.
Class Action Park.
We went with, I've been there. I love Action Park.
Oh my God.
You know, people who died there.
Yeah.
It's really sad. I mean, it's very, very sad at times.
Pussy shit.
Yeah. It comes from the walk it off generation.
Yeah.
Like, so when I was there, I did the cliff dive. I cliff dive. I hit the water. I'm not doing the pencil thing. I'm like, oh, I hit the bottom of the 18-foot water pool.
It's an 18-foot pool.
It knocks the air out of me.
Oh.
And now I can't swim because my arms are like, oh, I'm dead. And the water's ice cold mountain water.
Oh.
And the next person is already jumping. And it's raining.
Not
It's still a shithole.
I've never been on a ride that gives you the fear of God. And we thought Justin was knocked out. I love that park.
Speaking of documentaries, I was talking to someone that wanted to do a documentary on me going to Japan. Apparently, I am a Japanese mascot. It's a drugstore in Japan. They sell, I don't know, drugs. This is their mascot, the refreshing old man. That's his name.
Refreshing old man?
The refreshing old man.
You are a refreshing old man.
The refreshing old man.
The refreshing old man.
Yeah. And this one guy I know is like, hey, do you want to just like go there and like dress up as the guy and go in there and we'll film like this documentary? And I'm like, that sounds awesome. So that's me. All right, Kieran, what are you up to?
Well, I was so beer. I like sticking things in my ear.
You like sticking things in your ear?
Yeah, I have a lot of Asian ear scratcher devices.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
It's good. And as I'm walking, and I am like stumbling over and everything, and I'm strutting down the street. And so I like it's
okay. So what happened was you went in the store. Hey, this guy's banging in the alley, and he goes, "Okay, let's leave the store, go out there." And then he took you and the other customer in the store out to bang in the alley.
Yeah, the guy was ready to be like, "Yeah, really, it's happening. Let's go." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "For real?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, let's go." Pants are down around ankles.
In an
butts
alley.
are out in an alley. Yeah. But I slipped, twisted my right ankle, fell down, but still had to hold my asshole together. So I didn't shit my pants while I fell down.
Asshole together.
It hurt so bad at one point that I went on my tippy toes, and then the whole everything's blurred or something like. Oh my God.
You know what?
You know.
I will say this. there was no women.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was two guys.
It was. Yeah. That's what I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
That's going.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go, everybody.
So I guess aside from that, James, you were
So basically, I should just do things to waste people's time.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this stupid ass podcast and have fun out there. Hopefully the skies are clear and no one's banging you in an alley.
Banging in an alley.
Banging in an alley.
Unless that's what you're into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. End the fucking show.
Something in the room is burning.
Thanks.
See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Oh no, my wife!
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast! And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
So this is the Cinemassacre podcast, and we are joined by our first guest.
Wow.
Ever. Yeah. John, my friend from like almost 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. We've been friends for a very long time.
Yeah.
We actually like each other. So watching James go through all of this has been really fun from our perspective.
So,
I love weddings and I love taking pictures. So to combine the two is really fun.
Weddings are cool. It's funny, I used to edit weddings, so if only we did it at the same time, I could have been,
Yeah.
I never
right.
shot video. And that,
oh, it sucks. The video when you're trying to get everything from different angles and get proper sound.
the audio is
yeah.
audio is the part that would crush me if I was doing it because I've seen horrible feedback situations and I've seen ugly microphones and I've seen people unplug things and put them away and
Yeah.
so I wouldn't want to deal with that. That doesn't seem as much fun. My job's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems pretty good.
It is. It's fun. I love it. You have to love it or else you'll hate it. Like I said, you see it from the inside out. It's half no. Like you could be the most technically proficient photographer in the world. You could know everything about every camera that you guys have, every piece of light. But you also have to be able to stay calm and go with the flow. And, it's like balancing act. It's also reading people throughout the day, which is what I like. Which is what I talk a lot. Cut the cake and then we're gone.
You're out. Yeah.
That can be the fun part is like sometimes I probably shouldn't admit this, but I purposely turned the power up on my flash to as high as possible power and shot people directly in the face.
So they're like,
They were frustrating me.
yeah. And speaking of beers, I got you guys some beer here. So I figured we'd just do a whole episode on getting high and weed and
is that
bad
now?
experiences. Yeah.
So this is going to happen now?
We're gonna do it now. I'm kind of I'd rather drink and get drunk than get high.
I mean, for the record, I have not smoked weed in like about 20 minutes. It's been that long. You and a bunch of buddies, we were smoking, and I fell asleep during it. Like I smoked, and then I just like passed out, and then I like woke up, and I go, I am so fucking hungry. I need something to eat. So I'm like going through the cabinets and I found a can of green beans. And I'm like, so I just like open up this can and I had
So
to find the
disgusting.
can over here. And I just poured it in my mouth cold, like didn't heat it up
my
or anything.
God.
Down in this cup of green beans because I'm so fucking hungry.
That's disgusting.
Because you got to understand, of course, we came out of like, the 80s, 90s was when there was the PSAs all the time. And it was don't do drugs, just say no. To me, weed was just drugs. Like to me, I thought weed was the same as cocaine or heroin. Like I thought it was like just as bad,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's I had my first experiences too, was like in college. Like I knew that it existed, but I would just like drink vodka in my friend's basement.
Me and my friends did too.
Weed is just so common because it's becoming more legal. You can
Yeah.
get a medical card, and it's just like
100% correct.
When we went to Portland, I was baked most of the time we were in Portland. Like no joke. That's the thing too. Is like
Comparatively.
it was the kind of place where kids are on the corner and they shout out cops and everything, and they used to
Yeah.
shout me out as a cop all the time.
Right.
And meanwhile, I'm there to go buy weed, and I was always in a leather jacket before the vest.
Oh, now you're in the black vest.
Now I'm in the black vest. I had to get a new one. The other one doesn't fit.
I saw on the first episode you talked about your weight loss. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I quit drinking. I've never been like shredded.
I have lost some weight in my life as well.
Yeah.
I do jujitsu for fun. Though.
Oh,
That's
for
how
real?
if you want to be flipped, he can flip you.
Really?
It's a lot of crotch grabbing and eye poking.
Yeah, it is like pain is deadly. Like
Yeah.
they'll kill you.
So anyway,
Sorry, any Krav Maga people.
about getting high.
Oh, sorry.
I want to talk about like anyone have a story they want to tell.
Oh shit. So I do get high on the regular. I can think of a lot of funny stories. I, at the time, was in college. I was on a ski trip in Maine. I get a phone call on my phone from my mom, and she's like, "Hey, I just was cleaning your brother's car, and I found something." And I'm like, "Oh, what could you possibly have found?" And she's like, "It was a bong," and I was like, "Like a straight up foot bong."
God.
Oh my God.
How did that get there?
Yeah, who put that there?
A bomb.
He was on vacation, like literally smoking giant joints in Florida.
Oh man.
So we were just hanging out in his apartment, and we decided that it would be a good idea to just smoke a bunch of joints. And cop wound up showing up.
Well, the first time I drank, it was like at a high school party where the cops actually raided it. It was terrible. So when I after that I was like, no more first time experiences that are too crazy.
I mean, I don't like, you know, when you're just smoking it and you're burning it, you're not getting a lot of it.
After 2 hits, it tastes like asshole.
The water gets all nasty smelling.
Fucking Gengar weed glass.
I knew flash in and out, so I could tell people how to use it.
How'd that work out for you?
I do it now.
I'm making this movie called Kung Fu Werewolf from Outer Space. Throwing dummies out the window. My dad was like, "Look, you have a fake spaceship in the backyard, and it's an eyesore, and everybody can see it."
Honestly, I don't do anything.
So, all right, cool. You ready for the fan Q&A?
Sure.
People were complaining, like I was talking about the noises and stuff. They wanted us to get coasters, so I got coasters. But now the problem is the coasters are sticking to the drinks,
Oh, that
so it's making even more noise.
Yeah.
God damn it!
Oh, you also told me that you see our feet in the video. You were telling me like, because this table here is like just
There's no.
like I have nowhere to put my feet.
So anyway,
To those who said that, thanks for looking out for us. We appreciate it.
Oh yeah. What are your people's opinions on furries?
I had to look this up because I wasn't sure what it meant. So, from what I understand,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, like a large portion of them are LGBTQ plus.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Well, these
absolutely.
people dress up like in characters and then basically have sex with each other.
Wait, okay. I mean, just a question. Like, I mean, there's no judgment, nothing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
everybody's-
America.
Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now.
I've always had a fun time with furries.
And thanks for coming on,
Oh
John.
man, thanks for
Absolutely.
having me. Well, you guys are clearly prepared for my presence.
And yeah, I guess see you next Tuesday.
I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm freaking out. The walls are melting.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
We ordered this.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most. James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
But before we get into the podcast, let's talk about today's sponsor, Contra Returns.
As you probably know, Contra is one of my favorite games.
Contra Returns aims to bring that action.
All right, welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. We're joined again for the second time by my friend John.
Thanks for having me again.
So we're going to talk about favorite bands. Now, we're going to do a top 5. So if everybody can pick a top 5. And
That's
now,
really hard.
It's so hard because all of us we can sit here all day and talk about bands we like. If you could just narrow it down to 5, but I came up with 10.
Well, you really
Calm down.
fucking thought about this.
Oh, yeah, that was a long intro.
I love that there's always criteria. No, it
What are your
has to
favorite
have.
bands? It's like, well, listen, you have to.
There is a rubric.
There's a fucking flow chart. Yeah.
Well, I could either just get mine out of the way, or do you want to like go around, or like?
What we could do is we could all just start it.
Okay, I'll just start it off. My number 5 band is AC/DC because they're not very versatile. They sound exactly the same.
My number 5 is Kill Switch Engage.
Okay.
Oh.
It was metalcore. I believe and I was into like an emo. I was an emo kid in high school. I was a fucking
You were
douchebag.
hanging out outside the mall.
Yeah.
Me and Newt worked at the movie theater in the Morristown Mall, and we were always like fucking the kids out front because they kept crowding the lines.
I would punch the
Skate
shit
park.
out of myself when I was 15.
My number 5, black metal band Immortal, Viking, and all that crap, and we went to the Norwegian Pavilion. You know,
Let's get back on track.
I cannot count, but I'm going to say the Beatles. I can't play Rock Band. Yeah, no.
All right, so number 4 for me, Iron Maiden. I mean, okay, like, what does it take for 3 bands to beat Iron Maiden? But still, think about it, 3 bands. Only 3 bands.
10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man.
And, like, they put stuff out.
Number 4 for me is Rage Against the Machine.
Oh.
It was the first time I ever heard the word fuck. I think on that album is a great song. It has so many
number 4 for me is probably the I'm gonna get Scandinavia out of the way. Is Amon Amarth, the band Amon Amarth, the lead singer. We just start booing Trivium, and they got like upset and like left. Yeah, I don't feel bad.
And the
about
drummer
it.
too. They kicked that drummer
You should
out
feel bad
eventually.
about it.
You think so?
That drummer
feel
was
bad about it.
he got kicked out of the band.
I know you're probably not gonna pick a death metal band.
No,
but go
I
ahead.
have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm gonna go with Pearl Jam. I was like, this is it. These are my people. Like, it's just a weird vibe.
Number 3, huh?
Yep.
Number 3.
All right, so number 3 for me is Metallica.
Called
Okay.
it.
Cunning stunts.
From the like this.
Actually, what's it called?
Cool, so let's move on. What's your number 3?
Rush. Geddy Lee
doing
giving
it?
the Heimlich to people. And also, too, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Trailer Park Boys, but there's the episode where they kidnap Alex Lifeson because Bubbles is trying to see Rush live, and he ends up losing the tickets. So the one guy, Ricky, kidnaps Alex Lifeson.
But he got pissed off me saying, "Oh, you kidnapped me." It wasn't kidnapping, so if he's going to say I kidnapped him, I'm going to call him a male prostitute.
Nice. Your number 3, Justin.
Number 3 is fucking Shatner Claus.
Oh,
a fellow
man.
Jew. Shatner Claus.
That's hilarious.
So I just number 3.
So number 3. So the band is 311. Truthfully, sometimes they have disappointed me in their live performances.
Especially after the weed.
So my number 2 is the band I have tattooed right here is Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
2?
Number
Wow,
2.
I don't know it.
Judas Priest is they're kind of similar to Iron Maiden. Like they're 2 of the because they're the British new wave.
It doesn't sound like them at all.
Cool. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Duran Gray.
Okay.
And they're a Japanese
them.
metal band. I started listening to them in high school because I was big into anime, and I had a friend who was into a bunch of. She would listen to Japanese bands. Loudwire did a video that was like most disturbing metal videos and stuff, and this is always on it. There's a part where there's a demon orgy with these demon geisha women and a demonic dildo that's like flying around and stuff. It's crazy shit with the song. Yeah, right.
Dildo.
It's just there's.
You guys are probably all airheads.
My number 2, I'm not sure if it counts, but it's fucking Daft Punk. Well, they just broke up. One guy exploded, sadly, but
spontaneously combusted.
Sadly, yes.
Okay, so number 2. This is where it gets really easy for me. So I really love the Grateful Dead.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't Jimmy Buffett.
But I just love the Dead and.
All right. So number 1 favorite bands. Everybody knows mine. I think you all know
It's
it.
Led Zeppelin.
Close.
Really? It's Black
Closer.
Sabbath. Fuck.
Black Sabbath.
You were talking about Led Zeppelin so much. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking
Black Sabbath is my favorite because, so there you go. What's your number 1, Kieran?
All right, number 1 is it's a little bit different than my other choices, but it is Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Oh.
I have so in my as you have your CDs, my top one is the very best.
Number 1. Why did I say number 2? Number 2.
You got it. Number 2.
That's hilarious.
So I just my number 1. It's a newer band. They've only been around for like a year. Hard rock stuff, but it's definitely Rex Viper.
Oh yeah.
The number.
Oh, wait, are you serious? Are you
no,
serious?
it's not fucking serious.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Definitely better than the Beatles.
It was like when I did that top 10 giant monsters.
Oh, I already know what your number 1
Yeah,
is.
you guys probably already know.
Well, just say it.
Fish.
Oh,
I became a fan of Fish in college. Like, you know what I mean?
No, but I love I loved angry music. Angry.
All right, dear Hall and Oates.
I don't know. Yeah, right.
That's angry.
That is an angry song.
so I was listening to.
I have so many stories about this asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Me
All right,
too.
cool. So let's close this up.
Well, all right, Cinemassacre heads.
Thanks. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
I'm picturing like, a candy shop.
A candy shop.
No.
Not a shed with an old man selling candy.
I do.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, and Justin.
This is the Cinemassacre Podcast. Let's go. Let's have a drink first because I'm thirsty.
CO2
Here we go.
cars.
Nope.
Oh,
Nope. Farted.
excuse you.
Okay. Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh,
My God, it's spraying.
it is spraying a little.
But yeah, we did the lava thing. What happened was I always wanted. Here, can you do that for me? There?
I guess, how do I do it? Just tap it?
Oh Jesus.
Tap the Rockies.
So last time you guys brought that IPA, which I actually enjoyed, it was pretty good. I thought this time to bring Guinness in a keg. Now I tried my best. So what I did was I poured out a bunch of bottles into this keg, which my wife originally got for making nitro coffee, the most vile substance ever created by humans. Just a few sips and the world spins. So I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna have to move my mic so I got some room. So you could talk about the lava.
But yeah, we did the lava thing. What happened was I always wanted to destroy a game of lava. We've been talking about it for years.
And I asked you, how are we going to destroy a game in lava? Where do you even find lava? Now, I always knew lava as a kid. I always knew it as the red glowing substance that causes damage.
No, that's a lot of damage!
I think ice, when I think Iceland, which isn't exactly...
Well, that's like in Mighty Ducks.
In Mighty Ducks.
You've destroyed games with so much fake poop and pee. Maybe you should actually take a real shit all over. Take a bunch of laxatives and just spray diarrhea.
Wow, I don't think we need that.
You know what? I wonder how many people watch AVGN for the fetish of the poop things we do.
You mean the shit fetish? Yeah.
Primo.
Shit's Kitchen.
Yeah. People contacting me about that shit. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we don't want to do anything dangerous.
Some guy walking around in some other country just gets like a Sega Genesis cartridge through his skull.
Yeah, we don't want that.
You guys want to go to Chernobyl?
Uranium-235?
I think that might be a little excessive.
Yo, you talk about how you want to destroy all these shitty games, but like, do you actually like games, James?
No, video games stress me out. Like, it just stresses me the fuck out. When I like games, I like them. I could name about 3. I remember playing, the monkey ball games. But yeah, I like games, and I hate them all the same.
Gotcha. Do you like games, Kieran?
Yeah, I like games. Honestly, the new games, like the Batman games and shit, like when I was playing Arkham City and Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum, those were some of my favorite games of all time. And I mean...
You know what? If you're listening to the audio version of this... Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, right?
Here, let me get a little bit of that.
Yeah,
too,
here you go.
while we're here. Kieran,
Is it good?
It's pretty good. I mean, it's a little bit like the foam.
It's spraying too hard.
I know you wanted there was a segment you wanted to do about Bigfoot, I think.
Do you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it now.
All right. Basically, I want to ask you guys a question, all right? Do you believe in UFOs, astral projections, mental telepathy, clairvoyance, ESP, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis? And this begins today's segment of Is It Fucking Real? Bigfoot. What do you think?
Yeah,
He's right here.
it's weird.
So you see something like that, and then, but then, it's not really that much different. Like, not believing in Bigfoot seems like not believing in an orangutan. You've seen apes, you've seen people, you've seen all the different things that exist.
Yeah. And it's like, you don't know if like maybe one of those things is still around. Cause I mean, look at like things like turtles and
like nowadays, like why hasn't anybody got a picture of the Loch Ness Monster now? But they got so many of them back in the 30s and 40s.
To kind of, to your point, to dip into other conspiracies, and this is actually get confused. Like, I believe I was talking to Tony, and he confused the Patterson film for the Zapruder film.
Zapruder film? Which one's that?
The JFK assassination.
Oh.
Which is kind of very similar.
Mm-hmm. So a Bigfoot is just like an assassination.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw, in this, down the hall, there's a red doorknob. Like, yeah, no, seriously, there's a red doorknob. And like, use your imagination. Give it 3 heads. It spits fire.
Like, there might have been people who were like, if you ever come out and say that this is fake, I'll fucking kill you.
I think probably not.
I just don't really care about Star Wars as much. Like, honestly.
I'll just do this
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Taking a nice spritz.
Yeah. Done the full list of things we need to talk about.
All right.
We can go to the fan
Are you going to eat that? Would you be comfortable eating it?
Anyway, fan Q&A here. We haven't done one of these in a little while. All right, so this is from Ducky, medical doctor. What was the hardest AVGN video to produce and why?
The Mega Man episode was really hard because it was a lot of green screen.
Mega Man's looking at porn!
I mean, for me, it was hard.
Something like that.
I got a baboon story. I'm pretty sure they were baboons. So I borrowed the car to go to Six Flags with some friends. They made you sign a waiver to go through the baboons. They can cause damage to your car. It's like, okay, come on. Like, really?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, right? We go through there, and this damn thing takes the mirror right off the side, and it runs over to the fence, and it hops over, and it drops the mirror into a pile of mirrors. And then I go home later, and I'm like, how am I going to explain this to my dad? Like, what happened to the mirror? So I told him the truth. I was like, a monkey took it. Check in next week for the Cinemassacre podcast, and we're going to talk more about videos we're working on next time, because we're working on shit.
See you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Hey, it was all a joke, everybody. Like, they made something that got way bigger than they ever thought it would be, and they had to just kind of roll with it.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, and Justin.
But first, a message from today's sponsor. The Halloween season is almost upon us, and today's sponsor fits like a glove, or should I say condom. Either way, become the ultimate vampire
in V Rising.
In this open-world survival game, you'll gather resources and hunt for cum in nearby settlements to grow your strength. Do what it takes to come. Play VRising.com.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre podcast. Let's go. Commodore 64 episode. What'd you think of that one?
Ton of footage.
Yeah, it was the Wild West of gaming because there wasn't really any like strange.
Yeah, people just making stuff.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff right now. It was, we just finished up that music video for Rex Viper, Eye of the Tiger Electronics. Think of these music videos as like an extension of AVGN. So it's all about how the Tiger Electronics and how they stood up to the Game Boy. No one knows. I mean, it's just because they were cheaper, I guess. We have Monster Madness coming up. Monster Madness has been very educational. We're posting them on the website on cinemassacre.com, which, we haven't really used the website for much.
It's coming back now. It'll be a place where you can go and see things.
Because these videos are too brutal for YouTube. They have gore in them and everything. So, it's 31. It's a full marathon. They're all edited with just my voice in them. Like, there's no other, shenanigans, and that's it. And it was a huge undertaking for this one. And it's just really fascinating to see each country. Yeah, I'm really excited about this because it might be the best Monster Madness ever. The movie starts with the usual tropes. Mankind's experiments go haywire, resulting in destructive results. Have you ever heard of an Egyptian country? We're going to get into some weird stuff. So what is the best shark movie? Like, seriously, what do you guys think?
I don't really watch too many shark movies.
I've never watched Jaws.
Really?
Yeah, I've never watched. I've only seen Jaws 3.
Oh my God, you've never seen the first Jaws? Okay, wow. The best shark movie, and to be honest, you know what I think? Jaws 4.
The Revenge?
Jaws 4, now that's a shark movie because that one, it's just a shark fucking shit. I can't believe how well it held up. You see the shark a lot in this movie, and it looks good. It's like chomping on people. Also, didn't realize how much the NES game borrowed from Jaws 4.
You guys were playing it the other day on stream.
Yeah.
And Rob was telling you, oh, that's from this movie and that.
It has the little yellow submarine that the guy gets in. Sounds like a Beatles song.
Yeah,
but
that song is fucking weird.
Now, here's something really funny. I was in Frontier Town with my family not too long ago in Maryland. They have a shark there that they claim is the shark from Jaws. It just says, like, there's a sign in the front that says this is an actual prop from the movie Jaws. It's clearly not, because there's no way it could be. They say on the same sign, Jaws was from 2000. We all know it was 75 or 76. 75, I think. Or 76. No, it was 75. A shark ate me. A motherfucking shark ate me. Drink, bitch.
I'm gonna drink.
Yeah. So I have a picture of this somewhere. Let me find it. It says it was the summer of 2000 when a great white man-eating shark called Jaws came to town, and so you couldn't get it more wrong if you tried. I mean, this is a picture I took.
That's fucking.
I got pictures of my kids like playing on it, you know. But I saw it when it was still fresh and it was moving.
And speaking of Paramount ruining everything, there's more Star Trek shows in production nowadays than have ever existed previously.
Wow.
You have Discovery, Picard, Short Treks, Lower Decks, Prodigy that's coming out, Brave New Worlds, and there's some other stuff coming out.
Endless trash!
But these are all shows going on at the same time. And they're all on Paramount Plus, and they're all being show run by Alex Kurtzman, and the best Star Trek show nowadays is the fucking Orville.
Yeah, the Orville's great. Yaphet in it. Rest in peace, Norm McFucking-Donald. What the hell? Like, I can't even believe that.
Oh, I felt nothing on that. I think, but it was just, I don't know.
But yeah, I guess speaking of movies no one remembers, let's talk about Atlantis.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Do you believe in UFOs?
Astral projections, mental telepathy, clairvoyance, ESP, spirit photography, telekinetic movement, trance mediums, the Loch Ness Monster, and the theory of Atlantis.
As long as there's a paycheck, I'll believe anything you want.
And this begins our segment of Is It Fucking So Atlantis? What do you guys think?
I think it's real. I mean, there's, I think it's like, oh, we're a bunch of mermaids and sea creature people.
No? You mean the lost city of Atlantis, not the luxury hotel in the Caribbean? In like the Mediterranean area where, it's not as... No?
No.
I thought it was like a Grecian... Oh, you know what? Just tell us about Atlantis, James. You're very excited.
Well, like, it leaves a lot to the imagination. That's why we care so much, because when you're talking about mermaids and stuff like that, but the question is, was it just a story or was it a real account? And the only thing we have to go by is Plato. A lot of shit going on back then.
Yeah, but when would...
keep looking for Atlantis in the Mediterranean. So look where he actually explains it in the fucking pages. I don't know. I'm not an archaeologist.
How do you feel about the Aquaman connection?
That's what it's made for. Is it? Next time, UFOs.
All right. But I guess it's time to move into our Q&A.
All right.
This is from Lulipop36. Has a video game story ever made any of you cry?
Zelda: Link to the Past, when he has to play the flute. There's just something about that really makes me cry.
Gears of War 2 and 3. The cool thing about it was like the co-op was player 2 and player 1 is like Lance and Bill. Like neither one is...
Cry. The end of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Wow.
At Code tweeting, has making AVGN episodes become a chore? I feel
we have way too much shit going on right now. This is a big deal, doing a convention again, but I'm really excited to get out there. And
great job, everybody. But let's round it out.
All right, and we're heading into the Halloween season.
Yeah, and see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Oh my God, this is like so many hours to put in. Like this is a serious commitment. Like you could take some kind of class and graduate in the time it takes.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
But first, a message from today's sponsor, Have you ever wanted to take Warhammer 40,000 on the go? Well, Warhammer 40,000 The Lost Crusade, you can upgrade your troops for amazing real-time PP combat.
Defend the Imperium.
Download Warhammer today.
Thanks for listening to the Cinemassacre podcast. And if you're watching too, you might happen to notice we're bathed in this green light for some reason.
This unworldly.
Yeah, I want to ask, why are we in a green light right now?
Because like aliens and like the Borg and UFOs.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about aliens. Okay, yeah. We're going to open up that can of worms. So we got Adam here as our guest. Yeah. Tell him a little bit about what you do.
I paint, just messing around when I was in college.
I've known you for a long time too, because we've been at the same convention. So we have,
now conventions are coming back, and I have the Too Many Games 2012 that you signed because I stood in line for about an hour to meet you then.
That's funny because I don't remember that.
I do.
Oh,
she
really?
called him a shitty bitch, and it was hysterical.
A shitty bitch.
And she's like, "You shitty bitch!"
Just to see that you made somebody's day. You need a moment to just mentally reset. Yeah.
And of course, on Saturday, we're going to be on stage as Rex Viper.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for that. I've been waiting like my whole life for that, really. So,
and you're in Rex Viper, I think.
Yeah.
I might be.
You're the bassist.
I think
you play the bass, the bass.
Yes.
So yeah, that'll happen this weekend, unless of course we get abducted by aliens. Segue into our main topic.
You guys want to talk about aliens? That's
yes,
why I'm here. You want to talk about UFOs?
Adam's really
why are you laughing?
No, it just made me think of this thing.
What?
From Nickelodeon videos.
Okay.
You want to talk about penis videos? Talk about penis videos? Penis videos?
All right, so it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. Cock. Eat a cock. Eat a cock? Please, it's 8 o'clock. Eat a cock? No. Eat a cock? Please, cock. Stop saying that. So, yeah, about aliens. I have to start by asking you a question. Do you believe in UFOs, the Loch Ness Monster, astral projections, ESP, telekinesis, and the theory of Atlantis?
Yes, I do.
So, is it fucking UFOs? Now, let me explain just a little bit. UFOs are real. The question is more about, do aliens exist and have they been here? So it's kind of a little bit of a multi-part question here.
It absolutely is, and I'm not about that at all. A lot of people aren't.
You're about the truth of aliens.
Yeah, everyone wants to know the truth. You have to be really open. You got to be really pragmatic about believing in all of this. So in 2017, the New York Times releases an article that says, hey, the government admits, the Pentagon friggin' admits, there are these objects in the sky. Former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, he was very interested in UFOs. He was actually part of this program that just came out now recently. It's called AVGN. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Like a military intelligence standpoint, all these pilots, like Navy pilots, Air Force pilots, Foo Fighters. Why is the government hiding all this?
Like, why are they hiding themselves? First of all, with all the recent stuff, I haven't been paying attention.
Star Trek, it's like the prime directive.
Right.
We are a primitive species to anyone that has that kind of power.
Oh, by far. The thing is now that especially that,
I had a teacher who used to talk about cave paintings. They would have these like really accurate depictions of like a mammoth and then people and other animals, but then there would be like a dude with antennas and 8 arms, and she's like, what the hell is this thing?
Right.
This isn't a guy. It's not like they couldn't draw people.
What happened in the 1940s? We split the atom. We blew up nukes. So
they're like if you look at whatever, we kill each other all the time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't like most people on Earth as it is. I think most humans suck balls. Sucks ass, and I don't think aliens would ever come here and want to deal with any of that shit.
I think they look at us more than rather on an individual level as like a
them
species.
Seeing Twitter drama? They're probably like, fucking idiots.
God.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're the worst.
We are. We have all the knowledge of humankind at our fingertips. And this is what we freaking do with it. We scream at each other online. And
why do we pay bills? Well, why do we have to? I don't know. Honestly, I think people are the fucking weirdest. We have these established rules that we just do. Imagine driving down the road. You drive on the right side of the road at all times. But what if you just decided not to? Like, what if people were just doing whatever the fuck they wanted?
We
And
live
I
in a
think-
society, Kieran.
Decision, like who makes the rules?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Who decides to send you to Starship Heaven or Starship Hell? And it's like, you know, eat the cock. Yeah,
You really jump all over the place. It's so hard to stay focused.
So imagine an alien could see like every piece of Earth. I'd say about 95% of it is fucking awful to look at.
Like I encourage people to find things that bring you joy.
There's some people that find joy in being shitty, though, and that's the problem.
I definitely do.
There's a good amount
I know
of
you
people.
do.
I don't know.
It goes to the point of why aliens would come here.
And helicopters on Mars. It's fucking insane.
All
Video
the time.
games.
All
You play
the
video
day.
games.
I like animals a lot more than I like most people.
Let's talk about aliens.
Yeah. I hate
Okay,
the world.
so-
fuck the world.
You're
All right,
really
fuck the
making it
world.
pessimistic.
What I'm saying is
Plants are
plants are
actually
the
murdering
assholes.
us all
You're
the
right.
time.
That reminds me of another movie idea I had.
It would totally flip religion on its head. It
Would.
could hurt the global economy, so maybe they don't want to fuck us that much. You should probably stop with the atom bomb
knock it
shit.
off. Knock it off with the nukes.
There's an alien that's like watching this podcast, and he's like, "That motherfucker! I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna give a piece of my mind, and I'll be waiting. You alien piece of shit! I will fuck you, and then I'm gonna go on the top rope, and I'm gonna elbow drop down on that alien chest, and I'm gonna knock the wind right out of that if he even breathes, and we're gonna have some words. I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna." You 1, 2, 3 aliens, you're going back home, you're gonna look like a bunch of bitch ass losers in front of all your alien people. All the aliens are gonna cry and laugh at you, and one might even fart in your face.
You've been waiting all week.
This
say
is
that
all
already.
just out of
Yeah.
nowhere. I don't really
You
know where
couldn't
this
pin
is
a
coming
xenomorph.
from. Can I say one more thing about aliens?
No,
You've got a lot to say about aliens, dude.
I'd imagine that an intelligent being could, would have a sense of humor. Maybe you're too fucking stupid to understand a joke, aliens. Compensating for something ship that because I've seen. A lot of you guys, you're walking around naked and everything.
Are you
video
you
games.
fucking high? No, you should be high right
I
now.
probably
You'd be a little
should.
more
You
calm.
sound
Jesus
like it,
Christ.
man.
No, it's just really like
Anything else on aliens?
aliens suck.
Okay, you can't. How do I turn off your mic? And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. I need to get something to eat or like.
Yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Be like, oh, it's 5:40, and then eat the cock. No.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most, James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
Welcome back. It's the Cinemassacre Podcast. Hope you've been enjoying Monster Madness around the world. We have Adam again here.
What's going on, guys?
Yep.
So, my name's Adam, and I paint pixel art.
And you have a lot to say about aliens and horror movies and games.
I
all
do.
sorts of
I have a
stuff.
lot to say about aliens and horror movies and video games and I don't know. Have you guys heard of this band called Rex Viper? Nah. They're all right, I guess. They're kind of cool. I don't know. I play bass in that band. It's pretty fun.
And we're going to talk about some things today, like scary moments in video games that you remember as a kid. So, any of you guys have any that you remember?
The castle levels just from Super Mario Brothers. The levels were bright and cheerful, and then you get to the castle and it's black and just grays with friggin' fire. But it freaked me out, especially like as you're getting close to Bowser coming at you, like what is coming to it again, like a build up to it. So yeah, those would be like my big picks. Also, like I never saw a game that had like such a big horror motif to it that like everything it was like demons and skeletons. Then game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of games as a kid didn't scare me per se, but there was a lot of jump scares that got me. Like in Mario 3, when you first go in the castle and the statue laser hits you, I was like, oh shit.
No one expected that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a cheap shot. Yeah.
I would say probably the what's it called? Jurassic Park on the Sega Genesis scared the shit out of me as a kid, and I wouldn't play it by myself. And the first time the T-Rex busted, and it looked like a movie because it was these digitized pictures. It was actually really
That's the thing, right? Is back then, So we talked about some scary games. You want to talk about some scary movies?
Yeah, since it's, second week into Halloween, we haven't talked any movies yet. So the kind of movies I try to fit in during the Halloween season, I try to mix it up a little bit where I watch some old classics that I've seen a million times and then some modern horror, especially with Monster Madness. I watched a lot of movies that I have never seen before. So it was very, very educational. What's a movie that's just going to make you feel like, okay, this is Halloween? And I think one that's really good, actually, is Halloween 3.
Yeah, I remember it in Portland. I think I brought this up before, but we were at a Quarter World. Remember? I think
that was the arcade we went to every night.
And the DJ, he played the montage of Halloween 3, but he also played the theme song, The Cannibal Holocaust. And I'm like, dude, you're playing the jams right now.
I lost all appetite. It grossed me out so much when the kid's head turned into crickets. I was
the
like,
one that
that
bugged
kid
me
was a piece of shit,
he
too.
sucked.
The one that bugged me, no pun intended, bugged me. But when the mouth, when they're coming out the mouth,
Mouth,
and it's
yeah.
and
he's just like, with the mask. It freaked me out.
That whole
Everything about it.
he might have even done it for The Closet.
Fucking nasty. He's the one that is always
I
known
hate the
as
fucking shape. I don't like that.
The shape.
What is that? Just a little too pretentious for you?
No, I don't like the.
I didn't know about the shape until I saw the Halloween nerd episode, and I was like, the shape.
The
what
shape,
the fuck?
yeah.
Because I wasn't like hyper aware about directors or anything like that. John Carpenter, like noticing when you watch his movies now with a more critical eye, you definitely see a very
One of the scariest scenes in the first Halloween is during the day when Michael Myers steps out from behind the bushes and then goes back.
Yeah.
That's still, that's fucking terrifying.
Or like the laundry in the.
So we talked about the scary moments in movies, but how about some potential real monsters? How about monsters of the lake in this segment of Is It Fucking Real? So is it fucking lake monsters?
I don't have nearly as much to say as I do
with UFOs.
Obviously about aliens and like you mentioned like lake monsters. I'm like, all right, let me just look up like on YouTube. And one came up about some plesiosaurus or something like that. That could absolutely exist. Sure.
Like the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
You gotta get. Yeah, I went on a tour. I actually went on a tour of Scotland one time, and the tour guide he said it to us. He was like, "Oh, you gotta get the tour."
That loogie.
I was a huge fan of the Loch Ness Monster specifically. I always remember the classic image was that photograph from 1934, I think, where it's just the out of the water.
Oh, the black and white one,
the
right?
black and white one, which in like the 90s they like said it was fake, but I think the reason I was so attached to it was because it kind of reminded me of the dragon in my dreams, which was this. Yeah, it was just this,
that kind of does look like.
Yeah, I can see that, like the dragon, the dragon in your dreams popping out in the water. What if it was the whole time?
Yeah, and like exactly. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, there was a playground that I used to play at when I was really young, and it had this neck of a dragon that was sort of meant to look like it was coming up, and it actually spit water. It was a water spout. But anyway, that I had some kind of fascination with the Loch Ness Monster that I never was able to.
When you're a lake monster, you're in the lake.
Yeah, but Loch Ness is so deep. I don't know. Because don't you think somebody would have gotten a perfect video of it or something recently?
Yeah, someone would have seen it by now.
I know that there's like shit in the ocean. Like, there's giant squids and shit. And those are real.
Rex Viper, the biggest band on the planet, and you leave your band to go find aliens? Like, that's crazy.
I'm like, don't waste your time. You ever watch Metalocalypse? Wow. But it's like,
who's an alien wrestler?
Are there monsters?
Who's calling out aliens for wrestling?
I'm a possible future alien wrestler.
But it's
I'm
really
not
cool
one right now.
But I don't think lake monsters are real.
All right, so you want to do some fan questions?
Sure, I got a few fan questions. I know we didn't get to many last week.
We'll try not to ramble too much.
Yeah,
we'll try to answer the questions.
Keep it tight this time.
If you guys owned racehorses, what would you name them? I'd go with Fondle Punch. Fondle Punch in the lead, going after Fondle Punch.
I'd go with Diddums.
What about Thrasher Turbo Diesel?
A psychology textbook, chewed up piece of a bagel.
I drove back to where I grew up in Brooklyn, and I wrote my name on a brick in fucking chalk.
We had this friend that we used to like pay, and he would eat garbage and stuff like that. but the thing, like, he actually gives me like, he gave me a really good bunch of vegan recipes. He makes his own vegan meat.
All right, I guess we'll just round that out then. We'll have some more questions next time. But and anyway, it was great having Adam Shub, bassist of Rex Viper, on the podcast.
Thanks.
And next week, I think we have more guests because we're going to, record some with people at Too Many Games when they're coming in as guests.
Which I can't wait for.
Yeah.
Which would have already happened at this point.
Oh, I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah, have a good one. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below. Cock!
Shoot up piece of a bagel.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most: James, Kieran, Justin, and this badass guest.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. We are very tired.
/ a little hungover.
Well, I'm not hungover. I'm still drunk.
Oh, okay.
And I'm drunk and I'm pretty stoned at this point.
You have tree in you as well.
I am
yes.
I stopped drinking.
Yeah.
2 months, and then it was too many games, so I had a couple beers.
Low
so you had too many beers.
Yeah.
So we just had our first convention back since pre-pandemic. First time seeing the fans in person again. Like we were waiting for this for a long time, and it was always kind of, a lot of stress associated with it because, so we didn't know if it was going to happen or not because it kept getting postponed.
The last year never happened. It really feels like a month went by, yet somehow an eternity too.
Yeah. No, I mean you're right. At the same time, it's very fast.
Doug is here.
Walker is here.
Oh yeah, hi.
We forgot to introduce Doug. Doug Walker.
That's Doug. That is Doug.
You want to introduce yourself, Doug?
I'm Doug Walker. You probably know me.
Yeah, so Doug was in town for the convention, so we decided to, have you on. In any other circumstance, I'm going to say, let's not do podcasts after convention.
It's Sunday night.
Right now, my car is full of guitars and cameras, and just I need to.
How is your first convention back, man? How was it?
It was awesome. It was so.
It was
awesome.
really fucking cool.
Yeah, and you know how people are all happy at conventions. You know how it's like, when you see people face to face and they're just all so excited. Everybody needed this.
I'll say there's a lot of people I haven't seen for years that I saw again.
Yeah. Usually at conventions, I do a panel and then I do a Q&A. But this time on top of that, I also did the Rex Viper show. It was amazing. The whole room was packed. The whole band never even met in person until 3 days before the first ever show.
Yeah, and the full band only practiced twice together.
And all the people in the room are like, who the fuck are these guys? They were not having it. And I eventually was saying to I'm like, what are you guys here for? What are you doing?
I'm a pretty critical person, and so when you walk around, everyone's like, "Dude, that was great. That was great. That was great. That was great."
Hey, you're all right.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I was looking at the video of some of the clips later that people were posting, and I noticed when you're looking at it that way, you really can't hear if you missed a note here and there.
No one sounds that good live.
Then it was all about all the checklist of all the other things that could go wrong. It's okay, make sure that amp sounds right. Make sure that
Speaking of party, should we bring up what we did the night before you performed? Because it's even more interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So we had the after party, which I like to call the before party.
For me, I haven't turned off in a week.
I made a rule because the first con I went to, I got drunk accidentally, and it really was an accident.
I got a cup of it, I said. Left it up there breathing.
There's vodka already in there, right? What? So I had like 6 shots in a matter of like, not even 2 hours and stuff. And I started slurring my words and everything.
Wait, hang on a minute. Was it the mood slime?
Oh, I don't think. No. Because I say, I'm never going to do it. But we always have a drink or something at a con. Yeah. And everyone's buying us drinks, constantly. Oh, Nostalgia, I'm getting you a drink. James will get you a drink and stuff. And I'm not having water with this.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah, because I'm pretty good at. But when so many people are coming up to you, just handing you like this and that, like,
especially people you haven't seen for so long.
Yeah. The hotel lobby, was really backed up. And I remember I ordered 6 old fashions.
Yeah, okay. And you were just there and you just kind of disappeared. And then I think you walked into the other room. You're so good at sort of just blending in with the hat and stuff like that, where it's like you vanish. Yeah. And then afterwards, when you go somewhere, I'm like, what?
Oh, do you remember the time in the smoke shop?
Oh, that was
good. You tell the story.
So they had like the Philadelphia Ghostbusters there. Mm-hmm. And you came up and you saw them like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's the Philadelphia Ghostbusters. And you went, huh. I'll be right back. You kind of disappeared. Okay, he's doing James stuff, whatever. And I'm talking to people. And suddenly you come back dressed as Rick Moranis from the movie with the little grater helmet. You just had this. Yeah.
Gozer the Traveler. He will come in one of the pre-chosen forms. During the rectification of the Valdrani, the Traveler came as a large and moving torb. Then during the third reconciliation of the last of the McKettrick supplicants, he chose that of a new form. That of a giant slore! Many Shubs and Zools knew what it was to be roasted in the depths of a slore that day, I can tell you.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah. But I guess, you guys want to talk about any, like, crazy convention stories you have? Something weird?
For the lulls, but, like, this dude was like, I'm like, I need someone to burn this $10 for me. And this one guy goes, I'll do it. And someone might report me. I don't know. So I was like, I can't do it myself. No, it wasn't even that.
Right now, guys. This needs to be reported.
And then he looked like he, killed someone.
I feel so fucking bad for that poor fucking hotel.
Those were the good moments.
Yeah. I mean, we've all had our crazy drunken shenanigans at conventions, either as a guest or as staff or whatever.
Can we put a title right before he goes? Can we put a title that says, "Times you fucked yourself"? I was playing with an exercise bike, and then I had to go to the hospital. I was stupid.
Same thing with my brother. Same thing with the bike.
Yeah?
The little chain. Was it the chain that did it, or was it the pedal?
It was the spokes, like the gear.
It ripped a good chunk of his finger. That's so funny.
Rob has
my brother. Rob. Yeah.
Wow. So let's hear Kieran's Scarface story.
Oh my God. One night we're all drinking, and one of my friends tells Jamie, Kieran threw your moccasins. So he's like, what? Kieran threw my moccasins? What? And he's like, that's it. I'm going to suplex you. And he picks me up, and he can't lift me. He's not that strong. And I fucking just fell. I face planted onto the corner of Gaylord.
White lines. Kieran, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, man. Running through my mind.
Kieran, you have to go to the hospital.
My mom watches the podcast. Just saying. So, Mom, I'm sorry.
Well, you've...
And I'm like, Mom, come on.
Years later, when I was in high school, I was opening like just some cookie dough. It's a really stupid thing.
The ways I fuck myself, aside from almost 40 years physically and mentally.
Everybody was like, rips on me.
You want to do some fan Q&A questions around this out?
Sure. It's fan Q&A.
Which part of the process is the most fun for you guys? Being in front of the camera, behind it, or post-production?
As I'm an animator, I like the post-production. I'm an animator.
I like performing, but it's like I like writing. I think that the writing and the editing, you can do it like at home, and the shooting just depends on where you're trying to shoot it. So a lot of times shooting involves a lot of
can't waste everyone's time.
I don't like anything that involves cameras.
Yeah, fuck that camera. Fuck that camera. Fuck you. Okay, so that's all the time we have for today on Cinemassacre Podcast. All right, now fuck those cameras.
Fuck those cameras.
Fuck them. See you next Tuesday. Thanks for coming out, Doug.
Sorry, just throwing the middle finger at him.
Throw it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Throw it.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And And now, the hosts with the most. James, Kieran, Justin, and this bad guest.
But first, a message from today's sponsor.
It came from the sleek slabs ritualistically bound together by the necromancers at wallets. Say aloha, and I mean aloha as in hello, not goodbye. I know it means
We really love it, but apparently so do 40,000 others.
It even has a lifetime warranty and a 45-day test drive in your pocket.
They have other products too, like the bottle opener. Think that's overkill? Who do you think you are?
And if for some reason you want to hang out with me and Kieran, we will be in Connecticut for Retro World Expo.
Yes.
And now we'll start the actual episode. James?
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre podcast. It's the last day of Too Many Games. We just filmed a podcast with Doug, and now we're filming one with Brad right here. How you doing, Brad?
Good, man. You guys feeling it too? Like that tightness right here and everything? Yeah. Actually, I might be having a heart attack.
Oh, and in between the last two podcasts, there was whiskey. Fuck you guys.
I had a couple beers, but...
Oh, a couple.
Just a couple.
Yeah. So, Brad, was this also your first convention back, like since pre-pandemic?
No, the first one I did back was July, and it was the Exotica Expo, so it was the porn con.
I
best one to go back
Exotica.
to.
Oh, yeah,
Have you ever seen our video
I know that's
there?
fucking
No,
weird
I
to
didn't.
say, but
And it was... Look, I usually don't toot my own horn, but it was a pretty fucking funny video.
I got at the time when I was dating a girl back then, she almost fucking broke up with me because I took a picture with this girl and she like grabbed my wiener and stuff like, oh my God. And it got posted on Facebook.
This one is off to quite a start.
So yeah, my girlfriend at the time, she shit on me, and she brought all my video games to GameStop. It was funny.
So Brad,
I'm gonna stop signing autographs with my penis now.
what do? You're the cinema snob.
Oh well, I
Yeah,
mean,
we're not very good at introducing people.
No, what is my show? I'm so.
Are you some sort of like snob?
Well, sorry. But if okay, I'm trying to think of an example.
E.T. the porno.
Yeah, like, well, I'll be getting my hair cut sometimes, and then I'm trying to explain myself, and then, yeah, I don't know. Do you ever have to just explain what it is you do, and, like, you don't know how to, like...
Sometimes it's easy for what I'm describing it to my grandmother.
Yeah, but today, we're kind of really backed up, so I thought we'd chug a few out.
Well, it's because it takes us like 20 hours to answer one question.
Yeah, and I derail every single conversation we ever have.
Oh, yeah, it's about fucking up aliens or whatever it is.
I know, I'm sorry. I don't know what it is.
It might be the liquor.
And I'm ADHD as hell. So a sweet Mac and Me poster you got there, man.
Yeah, anyway, I think this will be a good conversation that you can derail, Kieran. What movie doesn't have a theme park ride but deserves one?
Caligula.
The boats.
The dance version of the lyrical theme that even the original is not in the actual movie.
Yeah.
And that was something that, like, as a kid, sitting in a fucking box. Mm-hmm. Did you guys do that too? I should have destroyed my grandpa's refrigerator a bunch of times. That way I could get more boxes. Dude, you guys ever see Vagrant Holiday?
No.
Oh,
dude,
like Vagrant Holiday?
Disney vlogger.
He canoes to this island, and it's a prison.
That guy sounds like a total asshole.
The surveillance man stuff is interesting too.
What are you doing? Hello?
James, so what was the fan question? I don't remember.
It was
what was it?
What movie would you like to have a theme park ride?
Oh shit.
Well, we really got off track.
Whatever you want.
Street Fighter the movie.
Street Fighter the movie, the ride. Street Fighter the movie, the game, the ride. Street Fighter the movie, the ride, the game, the underwear.
Yeah, you know what? Not for anything, but everything I love has ever been fucked up. So people are like, you guys need structure, blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. So you mentioned Star Trek. We talk about Star Trek, blah, blah, blah. You're like, And
I'm fucking coming like,
That was great.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You know, please. Never thought
it happens
to
before
even
this
look.
airs.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
now that it took 30 minutes to answer one question,
yeah,
guess we'll get back to it.
This is why. Sorry, all the fans.
I've always wanted to know what the opinion is of people who have been on YouTube forever and what they think of kids wanting to get into it today. How young is too young and what to watch out for? I recommend don't doing that.
You know, to be honest,
I have a nephew, kinda. He's like through marriage and he's one of those kids that's like, he likes Fortnite and all that shit. And he talks to me. It's weird because he knows that I do things like this. And I know that, like, whatever, but I think kids should be trying to do it nowadays, but don't be a weirdo about it. Like, try to do what you want to do. Don't feed the haters and don't feed the trolls and all that stuff. But you know what? Sometimes you want to make that crusade.
Yeah.
And you want to fucking go, nah, fuck them. I'm gonna come at them and blah, blah, blah. No, straight up. I'm gonna be honest, as a person who has had internet meltdowns and things like that and all that, whatever, just don't chill.
Well, a good example, I was looking at a lot of the comments on Rex Viper and what we're doing at the event this weekend. Mind you, I'm critical of our stuff and we could have done this or that better, but for our first show it was amazing. But there was like 5,000 people in that room cheering.
5,000.
Well, I don't know how many. 20,000. There's a ton of people in that room.
It was a big room. That is the only time I ever had a Jack and Coke at 5 in the morning.
At 5 a.m., right?
Yeah, because you know what?
I'm like, hey, fix the fucking plane. I'm getting a drink.
Like I'm holding onto my wife's hand on the plane and things like that.
You're
like,
fucking...
No, that's the thing. I don't like a plane where I really don't want to have to shit at 30,000 feet.
When you're fucking, you think about the fact that the world is 8 billion years old.
Yeah.
And flight is 100 years old.
Yo, that's like fucking Amelia Earhart. Plane went down, you get eaten by a fucking coconut crab. Sucks.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, she's gone.
That's horrible. Rip.
Yeah.
Rip Amelia Earhart.
I won't take a boat now.
Yeah, because I don't like boats.
Is there boats anymore? If James was the mama bird and you and Kieran and Brad were the baby birds, which one of you would be more likely to fall out of the nest and break their wing versus which would enjoy being fed pre-digested food mouth to mouth? Yeah, I think I'm ready to gorge on James's vomit. That sounds pretty cool.
No, yeah.
Out of that nest.
I'm going to just say, what in the goddamn is that fucking question?
It's a fun...
So... James is gonna barf food into our mouths.
No. He's doing that.
Down.
Have you seen that? Have you seen?
What was the question again?
There wasn't a question.
Oh God, this is so fucking morbid.
I gotta earn that shirt.
Oh. All right, see you next Tuesday and happy Halloween.
Thanks for coming on, Brad.
Dude, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for dealing with this. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
I'm always trying to be like, oh, is it good? I mean, is it okay? Is it how bad is it? Like everybody's like, fuck this shit.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast.
But first, a message from today's sponsor.
Are you ready for wallets? Ring wallets! It's time to ditch your old, bulky, worn-out wallet, like the Forged Ash wallet, military chic wallet, and obsolete old wallet. Is that enough wallet? Oorah. We really love it, but apparently so do 40,000 others. They even have other products too, like the knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife. This is certainly a knife.
Now that that's over, I'd like to do a little State of the Union address here on October. Was certainly a hell of a month for all of us. James is currently knee-deep writing and getting episode 200 ready. Hope you like that. Monster Madness, as you may know, was, So, yeah, just wanted to say hi, because I'm not in this episode. So, yeah, see you later.
Welcome to the Cinemassacre Podcast. This is a Rex Viper special edition. We got most of Rex Viper here right now. I wanted to get everybody here if possible, but it was just, very difficult. Just to give a shout out to all the other members. We Adam on bass, Justin doing backup vocals, and the hype man. And Kieran did some guitar. And Jeff because he's in a small apartment, and even with electronic drums, it's really loud. So he doesn't have time to record for us, unfortunately, or make it, fly all the way to the show because it used up all his vacation time. For sure. But, let's tell you really quick the origin of the band, like how this all started. So we got together to practice one time, just to, figure out what our sound was going to be, what we were going to do, and we rented out this weird place. We show up, and then we're loading in all of our equipment and everything, and we got all our gear and our amps and everything, and then all of a sudden, a bunch of guys show up, and they're wearing sunglasses, even though this is night, and they got brass knuckles and shit. I'm like, brass knuckles? Then they got a club with spikes on it and chains. And these guys are gonna kick our ass. They're gonna steal all our gear. If we're lucky, we'll lose our gear. Worst case scenario, we're gonna lose our lives. And in a flash, I just saw this silhouette of this guy just standing in the alley, and I heard one of the guys just yell, "Oh shit, it's Rex Viper!" And they just ran. And we're like, who is Rex Viper? We didn't have a name for the band yet, Whoever this guy was the bane of their existence. This guy meant business. We named the band after Rex Viper.
And now if we see those guys, they run screaming
this is for you, Rex Viper.
Yeah.
So
thanks,
maybe...
Please don't sue us.
He's not really a tough guy. He's actually kind of insecure with himself. Now, of course, the real story is this band was formed out of quarantine in the middle of 2020. Just to introduce everybody here, if you want to just go down the table here, James Harding.
Sure, yeah.
From Villainist.
James Harding from Villainist. So, yeah, we started off kind of making original Sega Genesis sounding music using the Gen MDM, which you can use to sort of turn the Genesis into a MIDI synthesizer. So, as to the story as to how I got involved with this, I'm kind of sweating my balls off. I just get a text going do you want to sing Mighty Wings? And I said, yeah. So I had nothing to do.
And then going down the table, Brad.
Yes, I'm Brad.
Yeah, you are.
Hi, Brad.
Hi. Started talking about practicing possibly with Rex Viper. The story was written.
Cool.
James, it's me. All right.
Oh yeah, there are 3 Jameses.
I was gonna say I'm one of 3 Jameses, and also we're sort of bookending the thing. There's a James here,
right.
James.
Yeah, this was rehearsed. Someone will have the answer.
Anyway, so I'm James from Epic Game Music. I have a YouTube channel. You reached out to me for the Mighty Wings thing, and just with the general concept.
That's what to it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Oh yeah, and I also produce most of the music. So if anyone has any problems with that, you can send them to me.
Anyway, Dino, can we move the mic over to you?
Hi, I'm Dino, and I'm in a band called Cheap Dinosaurs, and I play keyboards. But I also play for Rex Viper. Yeah.
And we were acquainted 20 years ago.
That's true. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Surreal.
We didn't hang out a lot, but we definitely did hang out before you. Yeah. Huh. Well, anyway. So go on.
Go on.
If you have more, okay.
I don't have very much, I don't.
So the idea of the band is sort of all the game tunes and training montages that you remember. But there's a lot of video game tunes that we want to do. How about we talk about our favorite video game soundtracks or songs in particular? So yeah, I don't know. Whoever wants to start, just go for it.
All right. So probably my favorite soundtrack, Final Fantasy IV.
Okay. It's a good one. It's okay.
But it's just so interesting because is sort of
cool.
But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with Final Fantasy IV.
Starts slow and speeds out.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
That's what I have some in my phone, but I'm gonna try not to. Because I like jazz, and I'm really into golf games.
I like the soundtrack to NES Golf. It sounds like this. It sounds like.
This might happen. Don't get too excited. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And that's one that I've listened to since it came out, right? And
wow, because when I look at it, on camera, I just see what the guitar looks like when I'm looking down at it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. So I just really like playing it with that in that tuning because it just feels like the strings are more relaxed and just the way, you know. All right, well, we're gonna go get ready for the show. So look forward to some of our new songs, and we'll see you later.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
And I heard one of the guys just yell, "Eat a cock!"
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast.
But first, a message from today's sponsor. Hey everyone out there in TV land, it's Kieran from the Cinemassacre Podcast, and today I'm here to talk to you about wallets. 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 Yeah. Wallets. Wallet. Ditch that old bulky wallet. I love this wallet. Check out their many other wallets.
You can't rip it. So I'm here with Mark Miller, and we talked about you before on some previous podcasts. You have a band called Corruptor.
Yeah, so Corruptor, it's spelled Corrupt-R.
If you don't like the harsh vocals and stuff, this is the band for you. And I'm not just saying that to plug it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah. I played guitar for about 20 years or so. I mean, I'm very novice. And I never publicized it. I always kept it a secret. We were in the middle of COVID. It was in the middle of 2020 and really bummed out and everything. And we started this quarantine band, Rex Viper, of course. And it just made me feel so good. And I posted it. And you responded after that. It's the first time I ever got criticism that said, you need to use your pinky more.
And it was actually really impressive you were playing that without your pinky. I mean, you were doing some serious stretches, but I was like, man, get that pinky in there, dude.
So I'm like, all right, I'm sure I'll accept the lessons. And, it's too hard for me. I'm never going to get that good. And,
Yeah. No, I mean, you've been like so excited. I mean,
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Get that pinky in there, dude.
We played the Rex Viper show, and you voluntarily flew out to that show.
Yeah.
You set up my pedals and things like that, and were there to change a string if a string broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, your show's stressful, man. So stressful. But a few fuck ups, but whatever.
Yeah, there's a couple of parts where I would miss a note.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was happy to be out again.
It was cool.
But this brings us to our topic, so Halloween Kills, because we've both seen Halloween Kills, but haven't really had the chance to discuss it much. All right, so first let's start with what did you like about it?
The flashback scenes, that was incredible. Like, I don't know much about filmmaking. Man, they made it look exactly the same. Like, it almost seemed like a tip of the hat to the fans. Like, oh, hey, look, it's Loomis. Like, oh, look, it's this person. And oh, look, it's that. But it doesn't really affect the story at all.
Yeah, this one at least felt a little more like they were trying to do something different with it.
They made it look exactly the same. Like,
yeah.
Right.
And I don't even know how he did that. I don't know. I can't explain why.
Mm-hmm. I don't know the guy's name, but the guy who plays Michael is good. Just like the head movements, the way he walks around so casually. Like,
yeah. They made the mask look right. It looks like what a mask would look like. Yeah.
I feel like there's two things that make Mike scary. One is he has no motive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like so important. And number two is that he is technically a mortal man that can be killed. So he could be anyone. Anytime something terrible happens, like there's a murder or a terrorist attack or anything like that, that's like kind of evil and people die, what does everyone want to know, right? Why? And we're not going to tell you. There is no reason why. He just did it, and he just snapped.
You don't know what death is!
You don't know what death is.
It gives me chills. Like, the series hasn't really evolved much, but it sort of tries to experiment a little. And, like,
Yeah, it's kind of a deeper question where it's like, as any artist, because, if you think about okay, so this is
AVGN
and this is the fans, right? So like the first episode, the artist and the fans are like this. Like everything's right in the world. Like the first episode was what the artist is currently working on, so that's obviously what they're interested in. And the fans love the first episode. So like they're just totally synced. But then as time goes on, it's like, okay, well, the artist doesn't want to write the same episode over and over and over. They might even want to do it
Rex Viper.
Man, your fans are going to be pissed. So the artist kind of starts going this way, and the fans are like, hey, what are you doing, man? And they kind of, there's like tension there, And so the question I've always kind of thought was very fascinating is, what is your responsibility? Because if you do what you want to do only and all the time, there's going to be tension with your fans because you're going to be kind of all over the place, and the fans probably aren't going to like that because you're not sticking to what they originally loved about you. But
first, I want to talk about this episode's sponsor, Raycon. Raycon.
It's always been a fascinating question to me. I want to see what you thought.
Well, I mean, I never expected to be the angry video game nerd. It's something that just happened, and I'm personally very miserable.
Yeah.
So, but I knew going into it, not everybody's going to like this. So I just, accept that. That's what I try to do.
Yeah. Right.
What I do, I try to make everybody happy that I can. But you got to make yourself happy too. Like you can't,
Yeah. No, that's a great story.
Cool. Anyway, yeah. So thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
I'm like, when is he going to stop talking to us? He was shit.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
You're not selling this shit on eBay. Give me a name!
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. I'm your host, James. And here we have...
It's your old pal, Crusty Justy here.
Crusty Justy? They call you that?
Trusty Justy, Busty Justy, Musty Justy, Dusty Justy.
Zusty Justy.
I know I help produce Cinemassacre and a bunch of other stuff, so here I am. Hello.
I'm Kieran.
I'm Kieran. I am Kieran.
And today we're going to talk about some movies that I saw lately. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Are you ready for wallets? It's time to ditch those old wallets and upgrade to some metal dash wallet, military cheek wallet, old wallet. We really love it, but apparently so do 40,000 others.
So let me just give you a little update. I mean, it's always cool to have like a, hey, I'm working on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you can curse on this podcast, right? Yeah. I don't know why I asked that, but...
We've been cursing on this podcast.
Because I just wanted to say, I'm on fucking fire with AVGN right now. I've been getting a lot of really nice feedback about the old McDonald part. And I've come to realize something with that. I think people really just like when I go off the rails over something stupid. I get to that part, I'm like, okay, I could just say, this game has old McDonald, what's up with that? But you got to exploit and just go nuts. Of course, you know what episode number this is I'm working on right now. Mm-hmm. But actually, before I say anything about it, I just want to show you something real quick. It's just to celebrate that we're doing 200. So we got some cake.
Yeah, sweet.
There's something I got to let you guys know about 200. It's a long episode. Take a guess how long that it's going to be, because I can tell, because
I'm guessing an hour.
You got it.
Yeah,
you got it. But there's the majority of the runtime in it is. But anyway, hope you enjoy that coming up. I want to talk about some movies that I saw lately, and also about theaters versus streaming, because we're living in kind of a confusing time. My first movie since the pandemic in a theater was Addams Family 2, the animated.
Okay.
When it came out, we took our kids to it, and it was like, wow, I'm in a theater again. I don't think the movie is what made it important. Like, I mean, it was pretty good. I think it was just the fact that we were there watching a movie, and it was one of those theaters where you can control the seat. You push this button, and doesn't get and
that's funny.
Like the whole. That was a milestone. I mean, just in the same month,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done with the bullshit. And like we've been going to movies and all that kind of stuff. I think we're gonna go see Rocky.
But
if we can.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I would rather watch things in theaters than stream them. I don't know. That's just me.
There are things that kind of got lost in time. Like also, as you could see, I drink a lot of coffee, and when I see a movie in the theater, it's not like I can pause it to go.
I always
to the
have
bathroom.
to piss in the.
Yeah, it's like I missed a lot of it, and I didn't know what was going on. A lot of the time, I'm like, God damn it!
Well, it'd be funny if every movie theater on your seat you had a stop button.
I have an appointment to go to after this. You asshole.
Oh my God. Shut up, please.
So guess what? I finally saw the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and also, it's based on a Disney ride. I'm like, well, how good could it be if it's based on a ride?
Like Country Bears.
This movie,
I'm like, okay, I get it. Everybody likes Johnny Depp. He's this huge, like, mega actor.
He's a scoundrel.
Yeah, like a hamster. Anyway, I'm happy I got to talk about that because I love talking classic films. I did a review on it, and like I could have remembered better. Basically, from what I remember, was that it was a.
I'm definitely sideways. Baby's Day Out.
Yeah, I never saw Baby's Day Out.
So, but
okay, I was the baby in Baby's Day Out.
The Baby's Day Out baby. I know the baby from Baby's Day Out. I did want to bring up that director of Dune, because you said you saw Dune, right?
Oh, I did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not very happy, he said. Frankly, to watch Dune on a telephone, the best way I can compare it to is driving a speedboat in your bathtub.
It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
That's an experience.
So if you go and you haven't done it before, they put lipstick on your head. They put a big V for virgin. Like the first time I went, I'm like, oh no, I've seen it before in theaters. And just that is the ultimate theater experience. You're throwing toilet paper.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Did I ever tell you I hate the icy bear?
Really?
I do not like the icy bear. You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm just wondering why did that even come up?
I just don't like the icy bear.
Why?
Like Slurpee doesn't need like a mascot. It has slur. It has pee. It has slur. It has pee.
I don't think like a slur. You wouldn't want a
If there is anything in the world that I just do not have an opinion of whatsoever, it would be the icy bear.
The icy bear mascot. I never once thought of it until you mentioned him.
I hate that motherfucker.
All right, what did the icy bear ever do to you?
Yeah.
He's not wearing pants. He's coming.
Wait, he's
coming in skateboarding or he's surfing on a brick of glacial ice. That global warming. I don't.
Okay, he doesn't have pants. I never thought of that. Okay.
Most polar bears don't wear any sort of clothing.
All right, so the icy bear needs some pants.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys ready to do some fan Q&A question?
Yeah, sure. I'm down.
Yeah, so I Macro D Satire, MDS, asked, what game would you guys want to have the HD remake treatment that hasn't got one yet? One that could be completely, you can say rebuilt from the ground up, or just
like a retro game that to make it HD
or whatever. Like you could pick like Dead Space, which they're doing now. Whatever.
It doesn't have to be that old, basically. Okay.
In the Street Fighter 1, that's what I want. I want a good like story-driven single player campaign as Ryu fighting all the characters. Cinemassacre, but it's updated. The one I can, because honestly, I mean nowadays HD
they've been
they're
doing
it. Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
What do you got, James?
I mean, off the top of my head, I would say I'm not thinking just
that'd be cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. There's going to be a little bit shorter than usual because we're trying to make them a little more, a little more focused.
Yeah.
So we're not just all sloppy and all over the place,
Just like that fucking icy bear not wearing his pants.
All right, cool. So, we hope you liked it.
See you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
That you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. Well, I'm James. And over here we got
Krusty Justy here. I helped produce something.
I'm Kieran.
Hello, Kieran.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite video game consoles. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Are you ready for wallets? Time to ditch those old, worn-out wallets and upgrade to some fiber. Pack up to 12 cards. The wallet is awesome. So, hello wallet, I'm glad you're here. We really love it, but apparently, so do 40,000 others. I've lost lots of backpacks over the years.
My backpack.
It even has a lifetime warranty and a 540-day test drive. And use the code Cinemassacre to get 10% off your purchase.
All right, so favorite video game consoles. This one was a big request. I feel like I might have talked about this before. I think everybody knows mine. It's Super Nintendo.
I think I'm interested to hear why you think that.
Well, I think the only thing to push it over the edge to make it the favorite is, it came out at the right time and you were in the right place at the right time, when it came out. That's how movies are to me a lot of times. It doesn't mean that I don't think but just what it was at that time in 91 Christmas, it was the first time when I was really anticipating a console, modern side-scrolling gaming at that time. Like I was used to playing Atari and didn't have music most of the time. And so by the time Super Nintendo was announced, I was ready for it, which I didn't know about at the time. The next things. I think my favorite game of all time is Link to the Past, Super Metroid second, just because of what they meant to me at that time. So yeah, it was really just the first time I was waiting for a specific console to come.
Yeah, I mean, I have a different answer. I don't consider the NES my favorite system. In fact, it probably gave me the most headaches. You try and put it on, it's going gay.
Oh yeah,
you got to bring it to the repair shop. You got to call Mario on the back of the fucking thing.
You know what? That you remind me of something. On the Super Nintendo, I had a very specific problem that would happen. The screen would just keep scrolling, and I was so pissed.
I had a problem with the new TV playing that actually, where my TV, I couldn't play any Super Nintendo games that had a black guy.
Yeah. But back to the NES being a piece of shit.
Sorry to interrupt, but yeah. I hate the NES. I hated it for years because every time I went to a friend's house, we couldn't get it to work. We would spend hours trying to get it to work, and it would just flash red.
Yeah.
A family friend found out I was into video games. She was like, "Oh, I have a Nintendo if you want it." And I was really nice. She pulled out a Nintendo that she bought back in, I think it was 86. She bought this NES, or it was 87 or something. This NES has not been touched by time. I mean, it was perfect. I mean,
what happened to it?
I sold it. I was super poor.
The 80s, we didn't know about
Yeah.
Make sure not to do it this way.
No, but
don't blow in it.
Not just blowing in them. We've all talked about that. The blowing in them kind
lifting it the right way.
You lift it and you jiggle it. Yeah. To this day, it still works a lot of times.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like rocket science. You can't.
Yeah.
One time, my sister crammed a whole bag of bugles in my ass to because I was mean to her or something. As an older brother, I guess.
What are you doing, step bro?
So you're saying you deserved it?
I deserve any hate I get. I deserve all of it. There was we had a hot tub, 70s swingers, they had a hot tub in the living room. Mm-hmm. So they just wrapped up and said we're not going to use it because that's weird and kids will die. So you might want to the pumps need something to go on. I don't know, whatever. I was looking for my Super Mario Brothers 2 and I'm like, where the hell is it? And my cousin's like, oh, I threw it in the hot tub. Oh, to see if it would float. I'm like, you're gonna float? What the hell?
Like Frankenstein and the little girl.
They probably float. Well, you know what? We'll do a test.
Density by volume.
We'll figure it out. God, if we make that video, it'll actually do well. But all my memories were it not working, it being destroyed. Mm-hmm. That was my childhood there. So my parents were like, "Are we gonna get Justin a computer or a go-kart?" Right. I know that we're separating from our conversation of best console, but the PlayStation 1 is definitely my favorite console of all time. Maybe PS2. I think.
Yeah,
that was the first game I ever got for the system.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We played the Alien game on it. Alien. Yeah, it's there was actually music on the game, on the CD. I used to do that and just record it onto a cassette.
And me, not having friends in middle school, I was like, I don't really care about people.
Badass. I didn't even know what I was at the time. People would ask me, are you freshman? I'm like, what do you call me, fresh? I don't know what's I had no
Are you freshman?
Are you freshman?
Yeah. So basically, I was waiting for the Nintendo Ultra 64. That's what it was called at the time. The launch game was like Mario 64. And I'm like, okay, this is cool. Playing Mario in 3 dimensions, running in a circle was kind of cool.
Have you ever wished for a physical copy of AVGN 1 and 2 Deluxe? No! Shit pickle. Premium t-shirts for $20. What were they thinking?
Everything must go. So click on over to store.screenwavemedia.com.
And my first video game I ever played was Street Fighter 2. Mm-hmm. I was at a pizza, I played Street Fighter 2, and I lost because there was like a teenage boy playing it or whatever, and he kicked my ass and everything, but I would go back to that place.
You gotta get good.
You still like PlayStation because you're a big kid.
Mean, yeah, I'm playing the same games I played.
To be honest, as soon as Super Nintendo came out, as soon as there was Turtles in Time, that was the first time I ever saw a game, and it was cool. It was
I wasn't
Grand Theft Auto 5. I just thought was amazing.
God, yeah.
And I don't even play it. It's a type of game that is all about this time.
We would play online and we would just run around and like we would just fuck people. And I could sit and I would just sometimes sit and swing. I wouldn't do anything.
Maybe I'll try that sometimes.
I love every single new thing. I'm cool with everything. I'm not one of them guys that's gonna.
Well, I'm one of those guys because I talk about the LJN video art.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you next Tuesday. We'll, come back with another podcast.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
You should play Red Dead Redemption 2.
You know what? I did.
Oh, you didn't like it?
So I got through the snow part in the beginning, which I thought sucked. This time period does not appeal to me. In Grand Theft Auto, you can drive a car. Everybody tells me like, oh, it's the story is like amazing, but that's not for me. That's not what I need. Welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. I'm James.
It's your old pal, the Musty Justy.
I'm Kieran.
And today we're going to talk about our favorite AVGN episodes. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Are you ready for wallets? Yeah, get rid of those old worn out wallets and upgrade to some fiber. Pack up to 12 cards. The camouflage look of this cheap wallet will have you saying your mother sucks cocks in hell to your old wallet. We really love it, but apparently so do 40,000 others. It even has a lifetime warranty and a 540-day test drive. And use the code Cinemassacre to get 10% off your purchase.
So anyway, now that there's nearly 200 episodes of AVGN out there, we've been sort of celebrating and reminiscing on past episodes. So I'm curious to hear what are your guys' favorites, and I'll tell you mine, I guess.
First, I want to say I have my phone out. I'm just looking at my phone. My first favorite AVGN, the first Ninja Turtles, episode 5. Mm-hmm. And that's, and then, people ask, how did you ever meet James or whatever? When that came out, I messaged you about, putting...
That was a big one. Probably because it was Ninja Turtles. A lot of people remembered that. I remember when it came out, it was a little more like a controversial opinion because I'm talking shit on this game that was like rated #1. But anyway, I was like...
No, I'm going to talk shit.
Even though I exaggerate a lot of that,
I never had a concept of like a shitty game.
Yeah.
So it was, and I only, as a kid, you only had.
What about you? What's your favorite?
Honestly, like the, what was it? On what's it called? I got into the videos kind of late, like not like super late, but the first one I ever watched was the first Ghostbusters one. Ghostbusters! This was like early YouTube because, YouTube wasn't. It started off as just a place that you could upload. Everything was, it's a lot less, me and my roommate were just like fucking, I shit on his face at Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout was straight up the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Showed that in a class. I had this thing called Theories of Communication. And it was about like television and radio and all these things. And
you watch this?
Yeah. So I had this teacher. He was his name was Mr. Youngman, and he was really old. He's
Old Man Youngman.
Old Man Youngman. And the whole class was about like the history of communication in every form, and that's why we as people You know, they're talking about, oh, Marconi and all these things. And I got into YouTube and we had to show examples. And I showed you shitting on Bugs Bunny, and my teacher fucking died. Like he insane, so insane. And he
was it that scene? Or
yeah,
was it like,
I showed the ending scene just where you're flipping out and the shit out of him, and he's crying and then the kick through the box and just kick him and he was like bug shit on the fucking face.
Oh yeah.
And the rabbit poop
balls.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh.
The second you dump on his face, his face was red and he was like, never in my life did I ever think I'd see someone take a shit on Bugs Bunny.
That's an awesome story. I love hearing stuff like that. Lots of times I don't really get to hear like what people's experiences are like watching it. It's not like I really, like take enough time to really digest anything.
Mm-hmm. So everybody's doing their projects and they're all fucking.
I actually thought when you first said that, I thought you had a theme.
I didn't even think of it.
That's
Just
funny.
it was just
I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe another Bugs Bunny fight. I have some ideas. I actually do have some ideas. I'm gonna run it by Mike.
Yeah.
No, hey, Mike, do you still have that Bugs? But actually, wait. I think football.
Yeah.
Football. You don't know it's coming.
Yeah.
I think there's a controversial take on this one, but definitely one of my favorite ones is the chronologically confused about movie sequels and titles. Just because I like more of the history and the confused talking about things. That one was good because I know you did that one, and then we did the Kingdom Hearts one, and.
You're stupid.
I definitely like that one because it kind of broke the mold a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I also loved all the the compilation ones were always ones I liked too. Like the Jaguar episodes were great. But I also too Batman.
Oh yeah,
that might be actually a fucking watch. There's a part in it that me and my friend used to always mention. It's like. You're like, this game sucks, gotta give it the Batman treatment. But you do this like swivel with your head.
Remember that I did a sass.
Yeah, there was like a sassy head swirl.
Sassy head swirl.
Also, too, just the Joker, Mike Matei, coming in as the Joker, especially at the end when you're shoving the games up his ass and you do and it's like Commodore 64 and you're smacking it in. That was just. So it was just like, this was a big thing to see, especially when I first saw the Rocky episode and you were running up the Rocky steps. And I was like, holy shit, I met you guys actually through the whole thing too, at Wizard World.
Because that's how I kind of got reconnected to James, because we're like, hey, can I borrow that laser scope? We're making a Nintendo Man kind of costume. We just got to rip James off a little bit. So that was cool. And
I mean, I was shooting on DV tape back then too, you know?
I mean, it's funny how it still is like no different, like the way the videos are made. Sometimes I'll get to a part like, oh, I can't get past this part. Kieran, you want to record some more? My favorite episode, I think, is still the Rob the Robot one. The dialogue with the robot was really funny, and there's too many episodes.
Not to bring up something kind of weird, because it's interesting. It's the American Males. So they have the greatest theme song.
American males.
The thing is, when you play their theme song backwards, it says "Slam your grandma."
Slam your grandma.
Slam your grandma.
Video. It's loud and clear.
It straight up
says "Slam your grandma."
Here, I'm going to say it right now.
American males.
Put that backwards.
Yeah,
to see what
does
it sounds
it do
like.
it? It's rewind time.
It was
Slam your grandma. American males. Slam your grandma. American males.
Slam your grandma. Slam your grandma. Slam your grandma.
So you're saying there's a bunch of hunky American males that want to slam my grandma?
Like, is it like a sexual thing, or is it like slam your grandma through like a table?
Is there another wrestler called Grandma or
Grandma? Like it's like this dude just Grandma.
Dockmaster.
Gobbledygooker.
I guess speaking of that, to go back on topic.
There we go. Off it.
I did really like the wrestling episode.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the first ones we were heavily involved in.
That's the first one that
yeah, because you know a lot about wrestling, and I don't know a lot about that.
It's not. I had no job. I was like, I had a public access television show. Too Many Games was like, wow, you have a television show? Sure. And I was like, yeah. No one watches it, and I haven't made one episode yet.
I know we have a piece of the Las Vegas set upstairs from the AVGN movie left.
Oh, how did that get back here? I've tried so hard to get rid of those things.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about that at Retro World Expo.
Yeah.
I passed out on the toilet because I was sitting there for like, I think 35 minutes straight.
I was actually getting married at that time.
Oh, really?
It was a honeymoon.
Congratulations
thank
on your
you.
marriage that happened. Like,
yeah. But I just remember it being like, okay,
it's so fucking weird.
yeah, because like a lot of these games, it's like, how many did I actually play when I was young?
I mean, yeah.
I've always wanted to do a video where I scream fuck for 4 hours straight or something. Things, some of them go on for like hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so funny. So I thought of an idea that's similar, but very different. Is just a long screaming fuck, but then it wouldn't just be screaming. Like certain things would happen during it. Like maybe one of these times.
I think it's bad for YouTube retention.
Probably.
Whatever.
It probably is, but
that's going to be really interesting.
You got some editing work to do. And let me tell you, you got like when I was doing the Commodore one, I'm like, Kieran, just so you know, I'm going to be dumping a lot of on you coming up. Yeah, so 200 coming up. I hope you enjoy it.
And thanks for being a fan of all this. Speaking of which, you want to take one fan Q&A question?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Have you gotten any better at landing the F-14 on the carrier in Top Gun? I think some redemption is in order.
Oh, okay. That would be good. Get somebody who's a pilot. I had an uncle who was in Vietnam, and he used to do some crazy shit. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching all these years. Looking forward to episode 200. So, enjoy.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Fuck you!
It was definitely a lot funner back then, but, still a hoot, gorilla.
Yeah, it was a very Wild West.
Welcome back to the Cinemassacre Podcast. I'm your host, James, coming at you from the Nerd Room, and I got Justin and Ryan over here at the Screenwave office.
Hey, how's it going? I guess I'm a guest this week.
Yeah, you're finally a guest on the Cinemassacre Podcast.
It was a long journey from this chair over to this chair.
Right, because every week you do a podcast with Mike.
But I made it safely. And I'm happy to be here, James. I'm sorry we couldn't be together in one place for this.
So we're going to talk some, movies we've seen, games we've played, some fun stuff. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Hey everybody, it's me, Kieran, and I'm here to talk to you about wallets. Ditch that old wallet. Get rid of them bumps in your pants and sandwich up to 12 cards and a whole bunch of wild style. This wallet is awesome. So, hello wallet, I'm glad you're here. And they don't just make wallets either. They make other things. The bolt action Ridge pen. You want to write stuff? Make people go, man, that's a guy who has something going on. You write with this, people will go, wow! And you may be saying, Kieran, you seem to really like these products, and I do. But so do 40,000 others. Cinemassacre, and use our code Cinemassacre for 10% off your order.
Ryan, this is the first time we've been in a video in quite a while. So, why don't you tell them about, what you do and, how long you've been working with me. It's been how long now? 15?
About 15 years. It has been crazy. The first video I appeared in was the CED video.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I had no intention of being in the video.
You were just there. And
yeah, I guess I was working on the servers because at that time I was working on the Cinemassacre website and the servers were actually in James's basement. We've gone a long way from that, but
I would come from time to time.
And James and Mike decided they were going to shoot the video about the CED.
Which is a outdated video player. It's a video disc player that only existed for a few years in the early 80s.
I was listening to them talk and I'm like, oh, I know what this stands for. And I couldn't help it. I'm like, it's a capacitance electrons disc.
I don't know.
I never know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like
it's definitely one that comes up from time to time. Like, here's where Ryan came from.
Oh.
There's an electric charge that is run through it.
That's funny because I almost forgot about that.
Right.
It was part of a series we did of like we did Laserdisc and 16 millimeter film and stuff like that.
Yeah, you and Mike both have pretty crazy collections of outdated media formats.
But no one's putting anything on Laserdisc anymore. I guess all the facilities are gone or whatnot. But I was like,
I wonder if there's even a factory that can make it. Vinyl was waning in popularity for decades, but now vinyl is a hot format. It's you know, they're actually building new vinyl plants to make more vinyl because everybody's
in fact one burned down or something, and it ruined all the vinyl producing for like the whole country.
The last vinyl that I bought was the 9 Inch Nails Quake soundtrack.
There you go.
But I got it on vinyl on Black Friday. It was, you know, they had like Black Friday releases. They do like Black Friday.
Oh, cool. I actually bought a cassette the other day.
Oh, nice.
Talking about outdated.
But yeah, I guess to get back on topic, we were talking about outdated media, and also you doing stuff with Cinemassacre, and we've made a lot of outdated media constantly.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess keep going with that. You were talking about the CED.
So I was working on the CED video. I was always working on Cinemassacre on the website. Yeah, so yeah, I've been working with James a long time on a lot of different things. That was like the first time I really got into big shipping, like pallets and pallets of discs.
Yeah. I remember when we were starting all that, I'm like, oh, that shit is not coming here. I'm like, we need somewhere where all that goes.
Yeah, right now, just AVGN and Cinemassacre stuff is probably 8. Actually, what I'm working on now is we announced that the AVGN 1 and 2 Deluxe was coming out physically on PS4 and Switch.
Yeah, we've been sleeping on that for a while.
But we're announcing Mike and I and Megacat Studios have been working together on an NES AVGN game for about a year.
Like that'll play on physical NES hardware.
It'll play on physical NES. They have the technology to make it run on a physical NES cart that actually, when you start the fight, he flips you off. It's a cool experience. And get the look and feel of the nerd down to work on an NES.
Yeah.
It's like a titanic effort. You think that the games that we made, the AVGN games on PlayStation and Switch, are developing an NES game is so different from anything that I've ever done. There's so many limitations. There's so many things you have to think about. We're trying. Our goal wasn't just to make an NES game. It was to make a good NES game. And those are two very, as you know, having played a lot of bad NES games, you know, trying to make a good NES game is a major challenge.
I can imagine. I would never make one myself.
It's kind of like a spiritual NES successor, kind of.
Yeah.
We are thinking about 3.
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations about 3. We're going to get this NES one out. We're going to get it up and running.
And then figure it out.
And then we're figuring out 3. But, you know, the plans we have, like with the technology for 3, it's going to be really cool when we do make it. Be really cool.
Are we going to see
AVGN
3 and when?
Well, I can't really say anything about
AVGN
3, and when I do, I'll certainly talk to the BBC about it.
Is it in development, then, I take it, then?
When I have something to talk about, I'll be happy to talk about it.
Yeah, so Justin is, you know, one thing a lot of people don't know about Justin is he's an amazing product. Mm-hmm. It's funny how much work goes into little details, like how much white space you have and all of that. You know, Justin...
I helped design the BFG edition.
Okay, yeah, I can hold this.
And what I'm excited about with this one is we finally put out the Disc 9 edition, which you know finishes the box for the time being.
I'm going to share a little secret with everybody. If you look inside the box here, there's a little shit pickle.
A lot of people on the website said, that looks like crap. I'm like, yeah, because I made it. It was so complicated before. And then, you know, James, with the Screw Attack versions and the regular DVDs and the Blu-rays, it gets a little confusing what's where. So we just put it all in one place.
It's the BFG of Blu-rays, the big fucking group of Blu-rays, and you add a
a few more onto it. There's spaces for one more of these, and it makes sense and it's easy, okay? I'm sorry.
There should be an angry video game nerd chronologically confused about the DVDs and Blu-rays of the nerd.
That would be fun.
Physically.
That is a good idea. Yeah, because it was like here is the so it's like this has an end, but it could be renewed. But then that's another thing to mention is that we're working on the website too. The website had a major revamp recently. It looks great now because a lot of people have been asking me like, hey, the website's kind of like you haven't touched it in a long time, but now we've like put a lot of the old videos back on there. Oh yeah,
this is nice. It's an actual Cinemassacre podcast about Cinemassacre.
Whoa.
Oh.
I guess we can move over to the shit section of the podcast.
Yeah. So what should I do with this information in my brain before I forget about it? I actually played Metroid Dread a little bit.
This is Nintendo games. Most are very easy.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread is not an easy game.
Yeah. But I also get lost a lot, but I've put in like maybe 3 hours so far.
Yeah.
In total. I've twice had to look at a walkthrough just to get past a part where I was stuck.
Oh, come on. I think they did a good job of constraining you.
Mm-hmm.
And well, considering Metroid is a Metroidvania game, do you hear about that? Did you know that?
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, Konami. I have a big idea for you, Konami. Make a game in a big castle. Thank you. I'll take my check now. I don't need anything.
Well, that's the way I am too. Like I can read stuff phonetically a lot, but I can't.
Yeah.
So there's another game I played called Donut County, and
so what happens in Donut County?
You play as a hole. Your character is a hole. Like you actually kind of feel like a hole. Suck down, like wiggle into it, and you have to kind of move it around.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, or put things in holes. Yeah, and it's good to see Neil Patrick Harris back in it doing stuff. Because he's in the new Matrix movie that's coming out in
I want to see that. So a lot of people told me if you liked Breaking Bad, you got to check out Better Call Saul. But I was like, I'm fine with that. I'll check it out. It's been a while now since I've seen it, but I caught up when like season 4 was going on, I think. So now I'm all. But anyway, I saw Better Call Saul, and I hate it, but. Oh my God.
Actually, yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah.
So for me lately, I haven't really been playing much. I don't think so too much.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And my first Blu-ray was Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. But I try not owning too much stuff aside from my Gengar addiction upstairs.
Right.
But yeah, I guess we'll wrap this up.
Cool.
All right, cool guys. I'm going to get back to some nerd stuff.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it was fun having you.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.
Oh my God, like it's like watching paint dry.
It's time for the Cinemassacre
Podcast. And now, the hosts with the most.
Starting with Back to the Future, using the same limitations they had back then, except this time it'll be done right. So, let me introduce to you my game designer, Sam. How you doing, Sam?
Sorry, we're busy editing episode 400, no podcast, so instead, here are some clips from the past.
When I smoke, the weed gets high.
The weed gets high, yeah, that's pretty good.
Gengar.
Actual name for it?
Yeah.
Who absolutely
Wow.
And we thought Justin was knocked out. I knew Flash in and out, so
How'd that work out for you?
I do it now.
It's only 3 bands.
10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, fuck it, man.
Just tap it.
Oh, Jesus.
Jaws 4, now that's a shark movie, because that one, it's just a shark fucking shit.
You drive on the right side of the road at all times. But what if you just decided not to?
I always remember the classic image was that photograph from 1934.
I'm not having water with this.
Yeah. Boom, boom. boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
really,
because I'm
really
pretty
bad?
good at. And I heard one of the guys just yell, "Eat a cock!"
He's one of those kids that's like, he likes Fortnite and all that shit, and
It's like there's a murder or a terrorist attack or anything like that that's like kind of evil and people die. What does everyone want to know, right? Why?
Oh my god.
Shut up, please.
The 80s, we didn't know about like
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Cinemassacre Podcast. See you next Tuesday. Remember to like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below.